Welcome back. So we are at episode 11, fourth/fifth weeks of the semester checklist. So we're going to talk about week 4, and then we're going to talk about week 5. Week 4, we are making sure that we're checking in with our advisors because we're looking ahead to midterms, and midterms are usually between weeks 6 through 8. And so we want to check in with our advisor early before there's a mad dash of folks trying to check in. That's either going to any walk-in hours they have or sending an email. Next, we are assessing our campus support services. So we talked about the resources. I will continue to talk about resources, but this is where we're checking in with ourselves. We are determining, do you need to go to the writing center for support? Do you need to go to a tutoring center for support? Or do you need to talk to counseling services? We're also, and this is a more iterative process where we're just, continuing to reassess and assess, this is where you might be updating your schedule. By now, if you're working, congratulations. If you joined a club, congratulations. Or if you've just managed balance, congratulations. Or if you find yourself just hanging on by a thread, you're still in the school race. You're still here. Here are some questions that you can ask yourself as you're checking in about your schedule. What is working for me? What isn't working for me? And you can determine the it, whatever the it is. What do I need to take away? What do I need to add? And do I feel balanced? All right, week 5. So you can tell I'm hype. You tell them hype. I love this, y'all. I love this. So week 5. So if we have the capacity, we're looking for internships or volunteer experiences. And you can reach out to your career services, look on LinkedIn, Handshake, which is a website that has different jobs and internships. You're also looking on any campus newsletters that might be emailed to you or posted online, any bulletin boards, any local nonprofit websites. There's this great website called idealist.org. That's a nationwide website that shares information about internships as well as nonprofit jobs. Next, we're also thinking about, in conjunction with looking for internships or volunteer experiences, or even future job prospects, we want to create a list of recommenders for scholarships, internships, and jobs. So this is a pool of people, and you're just going to make a list. So I encourage you to get out a piece of paper and create a list of 3 to 5 people. Some of the people on your list might be mentors, some might not be. And I wouldn't be Professor B if I did not give y'all some email support. So if I were writing the email, I would say this. The subject line is recommendation request. And this is something I might say, dear so-and-so, and then you put any pleasantries, asking them how they're doing, how's the day, how's the semester, blah, blah, blah. And then you are letting them know very specific information. You want to be short and to the point. You're letting them know why you want a recommendation from them, any necessary information about the internship, job, or scholarship. So you're letting them know the name. You're letting them know the link. If there is a link, if there's a link to a description or anything like that. You also want to share why you want the internship, job, scholarship, your resume, an updated resume. If you don't have one, remember career services is there for support. And you're also, and this is very, very important because I continue to talk about consent, you also want to give them the option to say no. You can say something like, I'm this is now off the cuff, I don't have my notes, but you can let them know, like, I understand that your schedule is busy, and if you cannot do that, if you cannot write the letter at this time, I understand. And the reason why, or however you want to say that in your own language, the reason why it's so important to give people that out or the option to say no is we're thinking long term. Because a no today might be a yes later on. Because I know for me, I would often get recommendation requests in the middle of midterms or at the very end of the semester with grading, and I did not have the capacity to write everyone's letter. And so sometimes I had to say no. And of course, that wasn't ideal for students, and some students really were upset about it, but I just did not have the capacity. The other thing, and the other reason why we're saying this now in week 5, is because you also want to give them, especially if they're able to, ideally it would be great to give them at least 2-week notice, a 2-week notice for the letter. Give them at least a week. That would be great. The other thing that we're doing this week for what week is this, y'all? Week 5. We're checking in with our professors or TAs about our progress. This is where we're checking in. You're checking your grades regularly. That should be understood, but you want to make sure you checked your grades if you haven't. And you're checking in about your progress. You're asking things such as, now, I didn't necessarily do this. I'm smiling because I'm thinking about if I were to be an undergrad all over again, what might I do differently? I've had a few students do this, and I would encourage you to. Now, you might not get the answer you want, but it's great if you could check in about your progress by asking them, are there any patterns that they notice? Is there anything that you can improve upon as a student? And then perhaps you can have that conversation with your professor. That way, you can be on top of your learning. And also, if this is the point where, let's say, you're falling behind, it's great for you to get ahead of it. Like, okay, you've missed one assignment. Let's go ahead and check in with our professor, let them know what's going on. You might have to work with them for a plan. Maybe they can give you guidance or advice to be successful in the course. Professors in college are not going to follow down behind you. And that is it, y'all, for this episode. As we say here at Boosie Teaches, in a galaxy of learners, Boosie Teaches lights the way. See you in the next episode.